Hey guys, welcome to episode 43 of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. I am Robert Lentini, and we are going to go over WWE Crown Jewel 2024. The show happened in Saudi Arabia today, featured 7 matches. We're going to rank them all from worst to best, starting with number 7 right now. The Women's Crown Jewel Championship match between Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. It's going to sound like I'm picking on the female stars in WWE during this review, but it's just the way this show worked out. I thought this was the worst match of the night, without question. And I wasn't excited at all heading into this match because Nia Jax is a heel champion, and guess what? So is Liv Morgan. So where's the... Who am I rooting for here? The only saving grace I had, I thought maybe this would be the night that Tiffany Stratton would cash in. We got a tease of that. She got involved in the match, but ultimately didn't get a chance to cash in. Raquel Rodriguez was ringside. Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom himself, got involved. He played a crucial part in the finish of the match, but Tiffany Stratton came to the ring. Nia Jax was confused. Like, what the hell are you doing here? She was trying to cash in on Liv Morgan or maybe Nia Jax, but it got foiled multiple times. She never actually cashed in. The bell never rang, so she still has the briefcase. It wasn't a failed cash-in attempt. It just never happened. And the ending of this match was Nia Jax was on the second rope setting up the Annihilator. Dominic Mysterio throws the Money in the Bank briefcase into the ring for a distraction. Raquel Rodriguez shoves Jax off the middle turnbuckle, and Morgan hits the Oblivion for the pinfall victory. And she celebrated with Triple H after the match. She was crying in an interview with Big E. Following the show, it obviously meant a lot to her. And, Liv Morgan has come a long way. Her initial SmackDown Women's Championship reign when she defeated Ronda Rousey and then lost the title back to her was kind of lame. She won the Money in the Bank, cashed in on the same night, only to lose the title to Ronda Rousey at Extreme Rules 2022 or 2023, whatever one. 2022, I think. Who knows? But this title reign for Liv Morgan has been much more eventful, much more impactful. She's become a star. The crowd loves to boo her, but this match here did absolutely nothing for me, and I do not care about the Crown Jewel Championships or the ring they got after the show. It reminds me of the Dynamite Diamond ring that MJF has that has not mattered. The biggest news coming from that is that he lost it, and they bought a replacement or whatever. It's just a ring. It's just a prop. I don't care that Liv Morgan is the inaugural Women's Crown Jewel champion. In this match, it was a Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan match, and they're both heels. So it's just there's no excitement to begin with, and then add in that they're both heels, and you have nobody to root for unless you're already a fan of those individual stars for other reasons other than the storyline. So I was just bewildered at this match when they announced it, and it went down worse than I had hoped. I give it like a D. I just did not enjoy it. I didn't like the overbooked finish. Didn't need 14 people getting involved. It was a clusterfuck. But, I would have put Nia Jax with this title and then have her carry around the ring saying, well, I'm still a champion after Tiffany Stratton inevitably cashes in on Nia Jax. That's where this is going. But holy crap, this match was just a bore. And, it comes in at number 7 on my list. Number 6, unfortunately, is the other women's match on this card. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defended the Women's Tag Team Championships in a fatal 4-way against Damage Control's Io Sky and Kairi Sane, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I was rooting hard for Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. It almost looked they were going to win this match. But I'd say the star of tonight was Lash Legend. I thought she looked great. There was a horrible looking botch from Legend, though, where she lifted, I think it was Kairi Sane up for a powerbomb, and Jakara Jackson was supposed to catch her. She just dropped her. Just dropped her straight down, no bracing, no helping her with the impact, just flat back on from the top of Lash Legend's shoulders, who's a monstrous woman, down to the canvas. Bam! Looked like Kairi Sane was dead. But the end of this match... Piper Niven's going for the Annihilator, or not the Annihilator, the Vader Bomb. It's the same thing as the Annihilator. They have the same move as Nia Jax for Piper Niven. The big girl's got the same move. She was setting up for the Vader bomb on Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill beats down Chelsea Green and puts her in position, and Niven hits her own tag team partner with the move, and then Cargill and Belair go on to win. They've had the titles for like 43 days now, and I've wanted them to lose the titles for 43 days. I do not enjoy Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as women's tag team champions. I want to know if Jade Cargill is a star. on her own. I want to see it. What's taking so long? She showed up in October 2023 at Fastlane. We're over a year removed from her leaving AEW and signing with WWE, and she's a tag team wrestler. And Bianca Belair is just leagues above everyone in this match and does not deserve to be in a tag team with Jade Cargill. So this comes in at number 6 on my list. I wanted to see new champions crowned. Who's benefiting from Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair being women's tag team champions? I guess Jade Cargill gets to hide that she's not ready yet. Maybe that's but it's been over a year now. I mean, you'd think if she's ever going to be ready, she'd be ready now. I don't understand what the delay is here. Let's get the titles off of them. Let's get Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill in a feud, and then let's see if Jade Cargill can be a single star. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green should have had the titles again, or give it to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Start something fresh, reignite the division. Let's do something new. But no, we're continuing this reign with Belair and Cargill. It's their second reign as women's tag team champions. I was bored during their first reign. I'm even more bored now. So let's do something here. I was just bummed out by the finish of this match. It was a botch fest too. Again, just a poor match, and I was even more disappointed with the finish. Number 5 on my list is Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and this is just because the match never really even took place. It was just a brawl. It devolved into a massive brawl. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens got in the ring. They traded a few strikes, and then Kevin Owens immediately grabbed a steel chair, hit Randy Orton. The referee tried to rip the chair away. Owens hit the referee with a stunner. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis come rushing down to the ring. Security, they get their ass kicked. Randy Orton hits Adam Pearce with an RKO, and that was the match. It was thrown out. It was called off. So that was that match. They're gonna have another match. Obviously, this is just the beginning of their rivalry. But it was fun for what it was. But it just exemplifies this is a glorified house show. This is just a no contest. This is a Raw match that you would do on the Raw before Crown Jewel, and then Adam Pearce or someone. Triple H even would get on the microphone after the brawl and say, "You guys want to settle this? We'll see you at Crown Jewel." That was this match, but it happened at the pay-per-view or the premium live event. So I just wasn't all that into it because it felt like a Raw segment on a premium live event. But again, it was an entertaining scuffle. And I also Kevin Owens apparently suffered a dune buggy accident with Kathy Kelly before a Crown Jewel in the desert in Saudi Arabia. And he blamed Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in an interview with Kathy Kelly. She was also in the dune buggy with him. He blamed Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. He said they paid off the driver. That was the highlight of this match, this feud tonight. It was a entertaining brawl, like seeing Adam Pearce take an RKO from Randy Orton. Also enjoyed Nick Aldis scampering out of the ring like he was petrified of Randy Orton after seeing Pearce get hit with the RKO. That was a nice touch. But overall, this is number 5 on my list because it wasn't a match, but it was still better than the women's tag match and the women's Crown Jewel championship match. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's just how I viewed it and assessed it. I enjoyed this more than the 2 women's matches on the card. Next up is number 4, Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. I enjoyed the hell out of this match. I was really looking forward to it too. I hated the finish. I understand what they did at the end, too, to try to make Bronson Reed look strong. I mean, it took several stomps from Seth Rollins. I think Rollins also kicked out of the Tsunami Splash in this match. It was a good back-and-forth match, but in my opinion, Bronson Reed needed this victory. Seth Rollins didn't. He's coming back from injury. He could have given Reed the loss, and then maybe they had another match down the line, and Rollins would get his win back or just move on. Bronson Reed has never won a title on the main roster. Seth Rollins just held the World Heavyweight Championship and lost it at WrestleMania. He's a made man. He's a star. He could take a loss with Bronson Reed, cut a promo on Raw, flipping out, and say, you know what? I was distracted by my hatred of CM Punk. We had a confrontation after Bad Blood on the entrance ramp, and I wanted to get through my rivalry with Bronson Reed. I took my eye off the ball, took him lightly, didn't take it seriously enough, and I just... Bronson Reed got me at Crown Jewel, but now I'm moving on and focusing on CM Punk. I think everybody would have just moved on and accepted it. I could be wrong. I would have, because I wanted to see Bronson Reed get a win. What are we doing here? He's hitting tsunami splashes on Braun Strowman in the parking lot. Then Seth Rollins cost him the last Monster Standing match on September 30th. Now, over a month later, Bronson Reed can't get a win against Seth Rollins, so he's just running in place still. He's in the same exact position as he was before he hit Rollins with 6 tsunami splashes in August on Raw. He's in the same spot now 3 months later. He didn't beat Rollins. I just don't understand it. And after the match, Michael Cole's like, well, Bronson Reed proved that he belongs in the main event, the title picture tonight. He did? He lost. He lost. If he won the match, he would have. He lost. He can't beat Seth Rollins coming off an injury. He can't beat him in a one-on-one match. He lost to Braun Strowman in the last Monster Standing match. Like, what are we talking about? The Bronson Reed, just because he does attacks? Build him up. Give him big wins. I don't understand the decision. I get like, Seth Rollins is a big star, and people were happy to see him win. But sometimes you got to build up the guy. Seth Rollins can lose 20 matches in a row and say, Jesus Christ, I don't know what's going on, and bounce back, and people will be like, oh, he's bad. Like, Seth Rollins can afford to lose this match. It makes no sense to me why Rollins had to win this match for a rivalry against CM Punk heading into WrestleMania or whatever they're doing next. They had the Rollins and Punk stare down, so I'm assuming that, but why can't you give Bronson Reed a big win? It just sucks. He's only ever won the North American Championship. What's he going to – hopefully he wins the IC or United States Championship in the next year or so. I think that's his ceiling. I don't think they view him as a WWE champion or a World Heavyweight champion. How could you think that? Because he never wins. I don't understand it. He never wins the big match. Yeah, he can kick the shit out of The Miz and R-Truth, but he can't beat Seth Rollins, so who cares? The Miz and R-Truth aren't in world title contention, so I'm assuming Bronson Reed isn't now either, because he can't win a big match. There's nothing there. He does attacks, he does tsunami splashes, he can't really cut a promo, but he's a monster. Build him up as a monster. You do that with attacks, and then you tear him down by giving him losses. If he cannot beat significant stars, he's not a significant star himself. Number 3, I'm actually going with the main event here. I'm going with Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Shocking, I know. My number 1 match is even more shocking because I did not envision it being that way when I first started watching the show, but it's how it went. But Cody Rhodes versus Gunther in the main event was a great back and forth match. It was a solid B to B plus match. Wasn't anything memorable, wasn't anything special, not something we're going to be talking about for years to come, like it should have been with a Gunther versus Cody Rhodes match. These are your 2 major champions, and they're fighting for this Crown Jewel championship, which is a title that they give, and then it turns into a ring. They got a ring on now. I don't care. I don't care about it. But Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, I really enjoyed the finish to this match. Rhodes hit a crossroads. Gunther kicked out. Gunther had a massive power bomb. Cody Rhodes kicked out. Then I think Cody went for a Cody cutter off the middle turnbuckle, or a springboard Cody cutter, or off the top rope. I didn't catch it. It happened really fast. But Gunther caught Rhodes in midair and transitioned into a sleeper hold, which was a great sequence. But Rhodes then rolled up into a cover and won the match. So it was a fluke victory in that regard. So it didn't take anything that much away from Gunther. But I wanted to see Goldberg. He wasn't there. They announced before the show that Goldberg will be having a retirement match in 2025. So they knew people were expecting Goldberg to be there, but he was in Florida for the Florida Gators versus Georgia Bulldogs college football game. I don't know anything about college football. I just know that that's where he was because I had to write about it. He cut a promo. He cut an ad for sports betting and an Instagram video, and then they wound up being on a show with some college football show, and they announced that he will be having his retirement match in 2025, and he said he needs some time to get ready. Whatever. Maybe at Royal Rumble, Goldberg versus Gunther. I don't know when they're going to do that match, but that should be the match because they had the confrontation of Bad Blood, and Gunther should decimate Goldberg, or maybe Goldberg gets in a spear and a jackhammer, and Gunther kicks out and just beats the shit out of him to end his career. We'll see. I don't want to see Goldberg getting a win in his final match, especially not over Gunther. But I was expecting Goldberg to be here tonight. I knew that wasn't going to be the case before the show. I was still holding out hope that it was a little trick, but it wasn't. So Cody Rhodes just won this match clean by rolling up Gunther, celebrated with Triple H and Liv Morgan after the match. It was weird. Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes celebrating like they're both baby faces. One's a heel. Liv Morgan crying in the ring. You're a heel. But that's just me. Again, that stuff annoys me. You act like a heel. You're supposed to be a jerk about winning. But anyways, I understand her being emotional. It's a big moment for her, but Cody Rhodes as Crown Jewel champion, I don't care. How could you? He's the undisputed WWE champion. I don't care about the ring on his hand now. But I was expecting a lot from this match. It, for the most part, delivered, but I just wanted something screwy to cause Gunther to lose if he was going to lose. I would have preferred Gunther to win this match clean, because much like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes can afford this loss. I don't need to see Gunther get pinned. I just don't need to see Gunther get pinned. He's that guy. He's the dominant heel. You can't beat him. That's what I want Gunther to be. But, he's beatable now. And he's just, all it takes is a roll-up. And number 2 is the first match of the night. I couldn't believe this match kicked off the show. The Bloodline, the original Bloodline, that is, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso came to the ring together. And then Jey Uso comes to the ring separately with his own entrance. So if they're all supposed to be together and equal, there's already a little weirdness there, because Jimmy Uso didn't get his own entrance music, but Jey did. Jimmy Uso just walked to the ring with Roman Reigns like his lackey and not with his brother, and Jey Uso got his own special entrance. That's a little bizarre and weird, but I guess they just wanted to get the yeets in. And Roman Reigns and the Usos battled the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. Tonga Loa, the botch machine himself, was not in this match, but he was ringside. I was expecting fireworks in this match. I was expecting tons of interference. That wasn't the case. Roman Reigns took about 4 hours to tag in. They were chanting forever. It was just the Bloodline beating the shit out of Jey Uso, and then Jimmy Uso, and then Jimmy Uso again, and then Jimmy Uso one more time before Roman Reigns finally tagged in, hit his 5 moves there. And it looked like he was going to win. He accidentally threw, I don't forget who the hell it was, onto a referee, the referee in the match, knocking him out for a bit. Jacob Fatu went bananas, hit suicide dives all over the place. And then Solo Sikoa hit Roman Reigns with the second Samoan spike of the night. And that was it. Solo Sikoa pinned Roman Reigns. It was a wild, shocking finish. It really made Solo Sikoa look like a badass, because he just pinned Roman Reigns. I just did not expect it. I just did not expect to see Solo Sikoa pinning Roman Reigns. But again, you want to build him up as the new leader of the Bloodline and the OG Bloodline battling him. It makes sense. It just was shocking. I haven't seen Roman Reigns pinned since, I think, the Money in the Bank winner-take-all match or whatever against the Usos, whatever that was. The Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, I think it was. And I think Reigns got pinned there. But it's been a while. Yeah, it just did not expect to see Solo Sikoa get that win by pinning Roman Reigns. I expected Jimmy Uso to take the pinfall. But after the match, things got really interesting. The Bloodline beat down Roman Reigns and the Usos. Sami Zayn's music's hit. He was seen this past Friday night on SmackDown having a conversation with Solo Sikoa as the Usos were trying to patch things up. They look in the parking lot and see Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa talking, and what the hell is that conversation about? Well, it looked like tonight that Sami Zayn was going to join the original version of the Bloodline. The new version. I keep screwing up. He looked like Sami Zayn was going to join Solo Sikoa's faction. He was dapping him up, but then he just attacked him. But it all backfired, because he set up for a haluva kick on Solo Sikoa. He charged. Sikoa ducked. And he just leveled Reigns. So they're going to have to patch things up with that. They're going to have to figure out the issues between Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn obviously has a rightful beef with Roman Reigns. He beat the hell out of him at Royal Rumble 2023 because he wouldn't hit Kevin Owens with a steel chair. There's a lot of backstory there. I'm invested. I want to see Sami Zayn and the Usos and Roman Reigns versus the new version of the Bloodline in a War Games match. And on November 30th, at Survivor Series 2024. The build to that started tonight. So we got that tonight, but Sami Zayn accidentally hit Roman Reigns with a haluva kick, dissension in the new version of the Bloodline. But they put it together, figured it out, and Solo Sikoa is chuckling after the match as Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and the Usos are despondent in the ring that they just lost that match. So we're going to get this again with Sami Zayn involved somehow, I'm assuming, at Survivor Series War Games. In 2022, Sami Zayn led the Bloodline to victory in a War Games match. So I'm interested. I enjoyed this match, but it wasn't my top match of the night. It came in at number 2. And then we get to my number 1 match of the night, and I cannot believe that this is my number 1 match. LA Knight defended his United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. I was not expecting this match to be great. I was expecting a 10-minute bout, LA Knight heel turn, and that was it. That wasn't the case at all. What we got instead was an excellent match where LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes all looked great. The finish of this match was awesome. Andrade and Hayes are both in the ring. Knight comes out of nowhere, hits them both with the BFT at the same time. It looked fucking great. And he pinned Hayes to retain the title. So Andrade didn't. That's another thing I would have changed. I would have Knight pin Andrade, as Hayes is a first-round draft pick on SmackDown. And when are we going to do something with Carmelo Hayes? But he shined tonight in this match. And so did Andrade. And so did Knight. Knight he's underrated in the ring. He's not anything spectacular. He's not going to blow you away with flips and, Meltzer drivers and that shit. He's just going to do a classic wrestling match with a couple good spots, and that's what this was. Just all three guys were in the ring at the same time. It wasn't you could take a bump outside the ring, we'll wrestle each other for 5 minutes. All right, you get back in, you go take a bump outside the ring, and then we'll wrestle. No, they're all working together at once, and it was a true triple threat match, and it ruled. And LA Knight's still the champion. I still think he's turning heel, but I thought LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes stole the show tonight, and that was my favorite match of the night. And that's it for the Crown Jewel 2024 review. We'll see you guys on Monday night after Raw. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you haven't.